right, it's showtime. It's showtime. It is showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is the Clash of Clans season 25. And what a time to be alive. The party is kicking off, and I'm excited. I hope you are excited as well. We saw some amazing games yesterday, but can we see some more? Cartel was giving us the vibe, Pain as well. And I think we saw a last minute dagger, from Tactical Team and Ren. I mean, I'm excited. I've seen a lot of games from yesterday, but remember, it's the grand final. The winner walks away with the prize. And I personally think Cartel have done way too much that they just can't be touched. But it's just day one. Now it's day two. Can they do more of the same? We're going to kick off straight into the action. It is going to be Sanhok, our first game of the day. Party never stops. The party never stops. The party never stops. The party never stops. Pain on the front lines here. We've seen them. We have kept them within reach. And now it's a matter of, doing the exact same thing. I have seen some interesting dynamics, some interesting dynamics from some of these relatively slow but steady teams. They've had ideas, they've had plans, but can they see it through though? I think some bodies just got dropped though. Took my eye off the screen for just a little bit and bodies already started getting dropped. Okay, so I want to take a quick look at who that was. Oh, Ecstasy dropped some bodies. I think it was from Ren, right? And a couple players from, was it Ren or I think it's Mad Monkeys? I think it's Mad Monkeys. It has to be Mad Monkeys because it was exactly what happened yesterday. They're most likely not gonna like this. ZEUS is in the vicinity. This is going to be very hard not to crack. Very, very hard not to crack. Wait, for a moment there I thought I had 40 MS. But like I said, it's going to be a very hard not to crack, holding out a boot camp by your lonesome. But there's something for everybody in the COC. Saw Cartel do a masterclass yesterday. And all eyes will be on them today as well to do the exact same thing. And I think if they perform the way they did yesterday, I think they would have won the COC today. Imagine winning the COC in 2 days. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that. That would be the first time I would see something like that, if I'm being honest. I ain't gonna lie. It would be the first time I've ever seen anything like that. Eyes on the prize, eyes on the party. So let's take a look at the zone. Centered up quite nicely. Boost camp in the center of it all. Pain in a 2-2 split. Holding off Hatin, a little bit of a southern side. Very close to Cartel. I think these two teams might lock in earlier than expected. Remember, they were the last two teams from yesterday. Sanhok, they were first place. And they were looking very comfortable. They took out the initiative and they closed everything down. But again, it really dials in, because if Pain can eliminate Cartel relatively very early, that changes everything. Everything is going to change. It is absolutely going to change if that is the case. But I am going to keep my fingers crossed and see for myself if that will happen here, or if Pain is going to be hanging around a bit. But looks like OP SWAT on the other hand. We have two players in the cut, Scary and Gabriel. They're putting in work as well. They're all about the rotational awareness. Remember, every single rotation here matters. So we have a couple of teams in the south, or just one team. I'll just say one team in the south. Persecutors in the south. We got Gen Z all the way down there in the east, and it looks like Neon Rising. Neon Rising usually in ruins, right? Yeah, they are in ruins, and they've already started getting active here. Looks like a very tricky though, but be very proactive, you know, all things being considered. I mean, one would be surprised that there are some strategies being applied here, but you know, I would keep that one on the low. Neon Rising did get the drop, but looks like they will not be pursuing this further. They are outnumbered by Dark Knights. A lot of indifferences here, but you know. One would think that Neon Rising have something interesting going on, but it doesn't look like that's going to be. They're already up on the hills here. Persecutors have found themselves on the eastern side, and finally, it looks like as I just moved away, looks like Neon Rising now will take the initiative. More Steez has found himself over to that western side, and it looks like they will be getting dropped in. Molotov just over into the smoke, and that will put things into a very tricky perspective. Again, Dark Knights on their siege, on the receiving end of the chaotic bullets. More Steez as well. He has compromised his position, but at the request of his teammates. So this is a balanced diet. It's a 3 versus 3 now. And now it will be a long draft, very long draft. It's a nice wake for Neon Rising to start the day. They were really struggling yesterday, but I think they would have picked up on things. I like the sound of this engine though. Ooh, this is gonna be a hard and interesting one. Oh, that's a beautiful shot from More Steam, and that will be a good night and back to sleep for Dark Knights. Again, you have to be, you just have to be proactive. You know, Dark Knights were not proactive, they were reactive, and Neon Rising, they could smell the fear, they could smell the indecisiveness coming through from Dark Knights, and they capitalized on that, and you know, they came out on top. And it looks like Ecstasy and Zeus will be trading a little bit of something inside of Boot Camp. Lucifer trade off as well. He will take another hit. Lucifer as well will be traded in. And now it is easy for 7. Will he clutch? No, he will not. He will go back into the lobby. ZEUS will capitalize and take boot camp for themselves. 3 eliminations to the good. And that is the risk. You gotta commit. You have to commit. And they didn't commit. And it's a very, very, very good draft. Could have seen this in so many ways. Well, we do know, at least for the time being, boot camp will belong to ZEUS. Genz still deep in the blue, that eastern side. They haven't necessarily made a move yet, but this next shift of the zone will give us a little bit of insight. I think he's going to go to the north. I think he's going to go to Hathin. I personally think it would go to Hathin based off of the trajectory there, but a little bit of Hathin, a little bit of everything. You know, centered up even much more nicely. I think a rotation from the northern side would pay off anybody that's trying to make, you know, their way into the game from the northern side. But right now, King Tartar for TERRORSIX is going to have to rethink his options there, because Super Nigga from Persecuters is in the vicinity. And he has been putting in some work and putting in some shots. And he's going to think long and hard about how he wants to finish this out. They did lose one earlier on, but I wouldn't think that changes anything for them. I personally wouldn't think so. But we will see the initiative. Pain still sitting in the middle. Sitting quite central, all eyes everywhere. They are still in a 2-2 split. And Fireboy and Venom have risen to the occasion, secured themselves 2 eliminations. And they are doing everything right. But it looks like Cartel have started to put that work in. And Eddie K has been knocked away. 305 in trouble here. Pick up if you get, but Akainu gets the closing touch on the 305. And Xerox as well will get Fox. Cartel starting to gain a little bit of momentum. It will be the time for them to get stopped out though, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Doesn't look like they will be beating the case as well. Wow, another grenade over the top, and that will be the end of the road. Pain will make 305 feel that pain for sure. I mean, Cartel will make 305 feel that pain for sure. 3 eliminations, all from Akinu and 1 from Xerox. 4 eliminations to the good. Again, Cartel starting as they mean to go on. They are doing everything perfectly. They've started the game quite nicely. The only thing that they can account for though is the play zone, because Neon Rising have crashed the party. They have broken into that downward spiral, holding a little bit of the valley position. They do have Cartel up on the hillside, so they will have to worry very, very bravely about that hillside position. And to the west of their corner as well, they do have Pain. And these are the 2 teams around the top of the leaderboard. Neon Rising are playing is 3. More Pain is going to feel some more pain. as he tries to trade blows with the likes of Pain there. Venom will be on the receiving end. He will be getting knocked away by more chicks, but that is not going to yield anything. King Tata will go out in 10th. TERRORSIX Wakanda getting swept out of the Sanhok map again. A couple of more shots being drilled in, can't seem to connect as much as they would like, but Neon Rising starting to come through with their own agendas, with their own styles. They are putting a very interesting foot forward here. Play zone has shifted though. It did shift to favor them a little bit. No, tactical team and persecutors. They have decided to lock in. Error had to be careful there because he just could have gotten slapped away, but Error now decides to crash the party. Oh, what a beautiful grenade! But there's only so much Ravage could do in that scenario. And tactical team once again stay tactical. 6 eliminations onto the good. Shino gets spotted by Stone, and the bullets will drop on him heavy like a boulder. He goes out. V3 on the cusp here of being descended on by tactical team. Bendo Baby already making a rotation from the western side, but it doesn't look like they want to commit. It is Pain that will steal that one away and add it to the numbers they have managed to gather so far. Again, an interesting rotation coming through from tactical team. They do have a lot of teams to deal with here. Ego on the other side will trade off as well, and will getting knocked through. The bridge being the only link between the mainland and the island, and they have started to find their way through, but Pain is in a much more diabolical position. Tactical team looking for a way through. Tire still in the water. If he's spotted, it will be curtains. Fireboy will be getting stopped by stress. They are making their own rotations one after the other. Again, Tire hasn't popped out. He hasn't been spotted though. I am quite surprised. But Error still has his sight lines in. Doesn't look like he's moving much of anything. Oh! And Error has found the error of his ways. He's gonna get dropped away. Stone will succumb to his injuries, and oh my word. But if Thorfinn can make it out in time, I think he might be able to turn this around. Yes, he will. Tyre will not see the light of day, but that was very, very close. Play zone already here. Will not afford the pickup, and tactical team will lose yet another. I think they can go for some utilities though. But for the meantime, it is going to be Bender Baby inside the blue zone. Rather crushing it outside as well. And Thorfinn looking for a way through. Let's decide to pop the smoke grenade perfectly as well. And I'm curious if Pain have a sightline on this. I don't believe they do. Do they? Oh, they do. They do have a sightline, but A33 hasn't spotted him, and I think Thorfinn will be able to make it in. Oh, spoke too soon. Yeah, he's cooked. He is absolutely cooked. He is absolutely fried. Yeah, man. And right now, we're down to 5 teams, 12 bodies. Cartel looking very sad here. Another drop from the hillside again. Cartel starting to look more and more comfortable, more and more dangerous. Neon Rising still on the ground floor. This only works if the play zone shifts the high ground teams all the way down. Pain, we saw this. This was exactly how game 1 went. And that was the danger. That was the danger. Not enough intel. Yeah, that guy is not gonna come out of there, bro. He's gonna let the zone take him, and that is exactly how Neon Rising will lose a player. Not enough intel, unfortunately. Pain receiving end. And Venom has to go for the pickup. Cartel inching closer and closer to another chicken dinner. The play zone surely will claim him. It will. And that will be 5 eliminations now for Neon Rising. And this could have been so different if Neon Rising didn't lose a player. But 9 eliminations, potential for 11 here. If the play zone is not favorable for Cartel, it is going to be a hard day at the office if they can't find a way down. I mean, this would be one for the record books. If the play zone forces them, oh, they've got a vehicle. Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They've got a vehicle. Stress has a vehicle. Stress has a vehicle. I think he can dive off. And they will survive this. I think that would be the best thing. The best thing would be actually to, you know, just crash into the party and just make it all on their own. But again, the play zone is going to be a deciding factor here. But Cartel inching closer and closer to that. To another chicken dinner. Oh, yeah, that car is not flipping around again. Yeah, you're cooked, bro. Oh, play zone has. Yeah, play zone is definitely favoring the likes. That was very, very close, dangerously close. And now Neon Rising will have to think long and hard. Oh. Have to be very careful with that one as well. But I mean, this is very interesting though. This is actually very interesting. If the play zone forces them out, ooh, Zara falls. Takes a lot of damage, but why was that the necessary move though? Was that the necessary move? Well, he is going for the pickup though. I don't think he can get knocked away now. All sights on the push. Have they found their way down? Oh, they found their way down. They found their way down. Oh, more chicks actually gets him knocked away from inside the smoke. And more chicks actually goes for the flush. The grenade is immediately turns him around. He's upstairs. Feigns it to the corner. Turns again. Tries the right hand side, but unfortunately, Cartel will take the chicken dinner yet again. Unstoppable. 11 eliminations and yet another chicken dinner. This might be the best Clatter of Clans performance in a grand final I have ever witnessed. Neon Rising in second place with 6, Pain in third with 5, Gen Z in fourth with 5 as well, Tactical Team in 5th with 7, Ego in 6th with 5, V3 in 7th with 3, ZEUS in 8th with 3, Persecuters in 9th with 1, TERRORSIX in 10th with 1, 305 in 11th, Ren in 12th with 1, Ecstasy in 13th with 4, Dark Knights in 14th, OP SWAT in 15th with 1, and Mad Monkeys in 16th. Whoa. And a banger that was Cartel once again, unstoppable. These guys is just different, man. It's just different. I feel if they can do this like 2 more times, I think they've won. If they can pull off this performance like 2 more times, I think they're good. I think you're good because nobody is even catching up to them. That's why it's so crazy. It's not about just the performance alone. It's about the performance of everybody else outside of Cartel. You know, they're winning. They're winning every single time. So again, very impressive from Cartel. Absolutely incredible performance from them. I was doubting if they could do it 2 days in a row, but it looks like today is gonna be that day again. So all eyes on the prize, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Clash of Clans Grand Final. It is day 2. We just concluded match number 1, and we'll be heading over to match number 2. It is going to be Erangel, so don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after the break. right, welcome back to the party, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Clash of Clans Season 25. It is the grand finals. It is day 2. We just finished match number 1, and now we are about to head into match number 2. It's going to be Erangel. And we saw Cartel doing what Cartel does, taking everybody to the back of the lot and showing them what the Cartel really does. You understand me? Chicken dinner yet again. I think we've had 5 matches now, and Cartel have had 3 chicken dinners outside of 5 matches. That is absolutely insane. Again, this could easily be one of the best performances I have ever seen in a Clatter of Clans grand final. I've seen a lot of great performances, but this might just be the best one. But fingers crossed, ain't no Costa cussing out here. Just vibes. We're just vibing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into the action. It is that time of the day. It is that time of the hour. Let's take a look at that plane path. Cuts right through from the south all the way to the northern side. We've got 15 teams in the cut though. So I'm guessing we're missing one entire squad. But I'm not sure what squad it is. But we will see. We will see. Alright, let's take a look now. So we're gonna have some action in that western side. I think it is TERRORSIX, Cartel, 305, all in that same area, having the same ideas. Who's gonna execute their own ideas better though? We've got Ego, I believe, in the south. Ferry Pair, uncontested. They're gonna have fun playing from there. We've got genz hanging around the south as well. Doesn't look like they have a plan. I mean, this place that they are, is it really a place for a full squad? This is like a one person spot, right? This is a rotational spot for like one person. Maybe you'd have one person here, one person here, one person, just the entire region. I mean, that would be more ideal. But tactical team already putting the screw to the opposition here. And Ecstasy in a 2-2 split of their own as well. This is going to be a hard one to watch though, because it looks like something could be changing here. Looks like Beef Stew actually gets a drop. Over to the other side, Ecstasy are now playing as 4. We're missing Beef Stew in the previous game. Danny Brown goes for the finish on Stone. Tactical team missing out and losing out. They would be heading to Yasnaya, all things being equal. So Link right back up with Crusader. Chance here that these two could be Nate with the Bison over to the other side there, but it looks like Bendo Baby's gonna have a field day with that one. Khaled has been knocked away. Bendo Baby's going for that finish, but will he make it there in time though? Well, he has been spotted out. I think he is going to go for the flush on Khaled. He will lose position as well, almost going for the flush. Again, TERRORSIX, Cartel, 305, all in the same vicinity. That could be the thing that changes everything there. Bendo Baby gets knocked away, but Nate is not going to be so lucky. He will follow suit. That's going to be the end of the road for him, but Godfather is here to the rescue. Is he going to be the clutch factor? He's pulling up. I believe he's been hurt though. Oh, he did miss out his shots, but hey, Arrow is 1 HP though. I think he can commit to this. I think he can make it up on his own. 2v1. Big potential. Trying to go for the bailout. But no, the shotgun will silence him, and that's going to be the end of the road there. But Ecstasy, they've heard this. They know that a lot is going on there. They know that these guys are low on supplies, and that would be the perfect time to strike. Will they strike though? We're about to find out. Will they capitalize? Will they utilize? caught himself between a rock and a hard place here. And his teammates are nowhere to be found. He does get the first drop. And he almost goes for the flush. Where the rest of his teammates, though, he's all by himself. He gets the first drop. Can he get the second? And his teammates are nowhere to be found. He does get the hit on him, but unfortunately, the bait and switch will work out. Beastie, he did all he could. But unfortunately, he will be succumbing to his injuries there. Danny Brown. The rest of the squad, are they pulling up? Yes, they are. But they pull up late. Too late to the party. Now he'll be swapping through. Turning back to the opposition, and he might be taking too much damage. And straight over to the right hand side. Danny Brown. Oh, that could work. And Mad Monkeys could trade this one off. Emperor could get an angle here. Almost going for the finish. Tries again into the corner, but no, the shotgun again will close the gaps. And that's going to be the end of the road there. Crusader now trying to make something happen, but immediately he turns it out and steals another one away. Bendo Baby has to fall back now. Ecstasy forced back into the lobby, one after the other. It's all left to Crusader now. Does he want to go for the finish? Does he want to commit? Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. TERRORSIX on the western side now, setting their sights on to Cartel. And Akinu now the next one to pull down. Xerox as well. And Cartel getting absolutely thumped by TERRORSIX. LB is the culprit once again, taking 3. How greedy he was. Big plays, very big plays. Very, very big plays. Very big plays from TERRORSIX. They did everything perfectly here. And they have, I mean, you know, it's gonna come with a morale boost, eliminating the team that just got a chicken dinner. Doesn't get any better than that. It looks like genz though. Well, it doesn't look like they want to be starting things off, but Super Nigga will trade off one. Floki did get knocked away in that exchange. Kevin as well will follow suit. There's 2 players knocked away now for genz, and they will be getting dropped off one after the other. Kazoo plays off the left-hand side. Super Nigga will immediately pounce on that position to retail him from taking the shots. They are looking like they want to commit to this. Oh, that was a very, very solid grenade. And Super Nigga getting absolutely torn to the side. Every single corner caught out. Floki's also exposed by Kevin. genz using every single corner, every single angle to punish the guys from the Persecutors. They are the ones getting persecuted now. And genz do not have respect for any opposition. Damage as well. Immediately hops over. Yes, okay, to close out the final gap. Kevin will seal the deal. Kazoo with the final touch. And genz will send the Persecutors back into the lobby. I mean, this was a bad call. This was a bad call. You know, I personally feel it was a bad call. Not enough intel. There was absolutely no reason to crash the party. You know, I just didn't see the need in crashing the party. And it hurt. It hurt them. genz doing quite a decent job. Play zone. I mean, a lot of bodies have been dropped though. Too many bodies. But we do have 12 teams very much alive and kicking in the cut here. But can they make the rotation though? I mean, the entire north is free. Saverni, there's no ops in Saverni, nobody in shooting range, nobody in Zarki, nobody in Georgia Pole. I mean, there's even nobody in Pachinki. It's a lot of thoughts that go into the rotation. There would be a lot of constituencies. Yo, big shout out to everyone in the chat. I just read some fooling in the chat. Jesse and Mash, una they laugh. When I don't see this fooling, they laugh. Una they laugh onto that fooling. Is it resources of the parameters that we've set? We've seen them, you know, every single rotation, every single plan, every single way of trying to execute the plan. Again, I don't know why nobody wants to be in the zone right now. I still don't see the deal. You know, I still don't see the deal. Like, why isn't anybody moving into the zone? Everybody's plane is so slow. It's phase 2 of the circle, and there's 12 teams alive, right? I mean, you would know. Focus on being in the circle. Me personally, that's what I feel would be the most ideal thing to do. But we are going to look ourselves what the objective is here. I mean, now everybody decides to get into the circle. it's like everybody has the same thing in their minds. It's so interesting. Like, it's like everybody has the same ideas. It's the same concept. Mad Monkeys as well, all of them trying to repertoire and replicate the same type of rotation strategy. But you know, it's quite expensive. It's quite expensive. But we are about to witness greatness. It looks like Pain have entered the party, and they're gonna love the fact that Cartel have been eliminated though. So that could be something that puts a little bit of a breather on the chase for them. But they have to perform here as well. They can't be caught and be forced to be swept into that other side. Venom is going to be exposed by LV, and it will not be exciting any further. A33 gets the drop as well. Yaros 2 bodies caught. Captain pulling up into the screen. And he might be getting dropped off as well. Gets the first one into the corner. And that's the trade-off. It's 1 versus 1 now. Will he allow for the pickup though? LB is too far out. He's not too far out actually. He has to deal with pain here. He has to do his move into the top. That's a good grenade. He's low on HP. It's a DBS now, surely. And the S12K, one of these weapons, and a grenade just over to the side. And he hits that one off. Yep, S12K. Party, the showstopper. And the show will stop. Gotta respect that drift though, but Pain will lose one. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize for the technical difficulties, but that is the emulator crashing on me once again. The Pain will relinquish that one. And it looks like Crusader stole a little bit of something here from the opposition. I think he did manage to steal an elimination from someone. And he's hopped into his vehicle here. Looks like it's going to be Neon Rising. I'll be crashing into the party here. Ooh, and that is the danger of crashing somewhere that you are not familiar with. You know, they shouldn't have come here though. Ooh. That is going to cost him. Ooh, that was very close again. Too close for comfort. The Crusader is going to trade off one. That one will hurt him again. But then that puts him into a very tricky predicament, because I think Mad Monkeys have pulled up into the vicinity. They might be deciding they want to deal with this sooner rather than later. The GOAT is going to be in the corner as well, applying some more pressure. Emperor has also decided to crash into the party. Neon Rising still playing his 2 here. Yeah, exactly. That was always going to happen. That was absolutely always going to happen. Like, if you're not going to go inside and deal with him inside, you're opening yourself to a lot of third parties. You're not safe. That is the problem. You know, he does get the drop on him. Yeah, but at least Crusader is discovered. And that is going to be the end of that one. Yeah, Emperor is not going to go inside there, because he don't got a reason to. But I'm surprised Mornax isn't taking shots here. Yeah, I see why. He's crashed up. And he's going to be knocked away there. Unfortunate, very unfortunate scenario for him. They are going to try to relinquish this entire position, but they are doing an amazing job. 7 eliminations, everything is good. They've only lost Klaus. And I believe Crusader is going to be in there at least for a while. He picked a very good spot to play out of, but it looks like Tyre is going to think about that one twice as well, as he is. V3 will be playing in from the north. Tyre will get that first, drop their first elimination of the game. All sights on Ego here. Knocked away. Will not be yielding much of anything. Tyre with the finish. And that's going to be the end of the road. But here comes Emperor. Mad Monkeys, they smell the chaos and they want a piece of it as well. What a fantastic grenade that was. And Alpha just managed to escape. And another one will follow suit, but this one will not be denied. Emperor and his new clothes on the opposition here. He drops them one after the other. And he will turn his back to the opposition again. First shot, second shot. Yeah, this is that. Yeah, I'm not sure this is smart though, but it looks like they did circle around the entire area and they capitalized on the position. Big games, very, very big game coming through from Mad Monkeys. And it looks like OP SWAT have decided that they want a piece of the action as well. They're starting to look good, but it's pain. It's pain that is setting them aside, setting them up for a rude awakening. You can see the play zone has shifted again, just out into Severny. And a little bit towards the central position there, but more pain. Looks like he's also trying to get into the zone. We've got 2 eliminations. 2 eliminations. Only one left on his team, as his vehicle might be smashed all the way up. He is getting the intel, at least. Getting a lot of intel here, but again, there's only so much he could do from this position. Fortunately, there's another. Yeah, he's not making it there, but he is not making it. Does he have more smokes? Yeah, he ain't making it out. He is not making it there. Like, I would have stayed in the shack for at least. I would have stayed in the shack, if I'm being honest. I would have stayed there. I would have stayed in the shack. I ain't gonna lie. But Crusader has made his way into the zone. It looks like he's going to tank it and stay just a little bit inside of the dip here. Ecstasy finding themselves again where we saw this playstyle come in from Ruda yesterday for Ecstasy, single-handedly getting them into the top 2 finish against Cartel. He did pull off a masterclass in the final third, but now is this all going to be part of the concept? Play zone makes yet another shift. We'll try again to stay very neutral here. Gen Z. Saw them engage in some extracurriculars earlier on, but it looks like not much came out of that one. It looks like Pain also didn't make it out. They also got eliminated. So Zeus and Tactical Team and the guys from Mad Monkeys could snatch this one away. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Clatter of Clans Season 25, the Grand Finals. Is he aware? the car, right? What? There's no way you're gonna get shot, bruh. What is he doing, bruh? What? There is no way you don't know that you can be spotted from there, bro. Come on, man. Jesus, man. I don't even understand. Crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. Like, that was literally where you got shot from. You faced that same direction without protection. Why didn't you just lay down behind the vehicle first? Damn. I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, but Mad Monkeys, on the other hand, 12 eliminations to the good, 6 for Emperor. Looks like they're cruising to that chicken dinner. And it looks like the chaos continues here. Error from Tactical Team will be swept away. Bendo Baby will follow suit, and 305. So all left to them now. They're down to 1, but the pickups are very possible here. They're doing everything that they need to see themselves through to that final third. But as it stands, Mad Monkeys are the ones with the highest chance of taking this chicken dinner. All they have to do is clear the path and clear the way, and that chicken dinner will be theirs. Pain again couldn't capitalize on Cartel's misguidance. And now an opportunity has been presented for Mad Monkeys to claim it. ZEUS as well with the same idea. And also OP SWAT have a much more solid position because they do play as 4, but ZEUS are playing as 2. So it's not necessarily the most ideal way for them to kick things off into this final third. Still got 13 players alive, 5 teams in the disparity. Tinder gets called out, and that number advantage will be down by 1. OP SWAT getting breached once again over to that western side. It will try to overcompensate there, but ZEUS might be able to be the ones to put a thorn in this. 13 eliminations now. Yep, they want to commit. They're gonna commit. Molotov, firstly to go out. 305 also sending shots, also peppering bullets now. Mad Monkeys going mad. Grenades, Molotov right through the windows, but they're falling short. Fabian and Faker have to hold their own here. 305 might decide they want a third party this because they're not in the zone, and now is the time for them to make that fight. But the focus was ready for them, sprays them down immediately as well. Mad Monkeys, they're creeping up, but OP SWAT have them in a chokehold on the right hand side. Grok tries again to pop through with the DBS, tries to connect, but it doesn't work. Another grenade sent over. Fabian takes the hit. Also Faker has to play behind him, and another grenade now. But the M4 from Scary Hours will connect. OP SWAT surrounding the entire region. We still have 5 teams in the turn, but both decide to get a piece of the action, and that will be the job done. 14 eliminations for Mad Monkeys. Another big performance coming through. Major changes now. Kesh's been knocked away, and there's trouble now. Big trouble for OP SWAT. They're just playing as 2. Mad Monkeys still have the numbers advantage now. They cannot go for that pickup. It's too far out. Scary has been spotted, but he trades the bullet off as well. Goat is gonna try to ring him through. Kesh will be swept and sent back into the lobby. OP SWAT now down to just 1. Scary is not scary enough, as he's also going to be knocked away. Blade from 305 gets the angle dropped in. Emperor has to pop through. He wants to go for the finish. He's 1 HP though. He's dangerous. It's a very dangerous play. Angel Gabriel might be able to send him back into the heavens, but he could pop through over to that left hand And the grenade is immediate from Emperor, trying to deal with his subjects over the top side. The grenade as well from Gabriel again, tries to pull them all the way to the back. The Molotov cocktail, another smoke to hide the vision. He pops through, but he's exposed, and the GOAT will send him back into the lobby. Blade, the last one left. Can he slay the vampires this time? Another smoke, but he's been spotted. He has no element of surprise. Emperor immediately crashes him, and the S12K will deal the damage, and the Mad Monkeys will chase it down with an outstanding 20 eliminations and a chicken dinner. 305 in second place with 2 eliminations. OP SWAT in third place with 7. And genz in fourth with 4. ZEUS in fifth with 1. And the tactical team in 6th with 5. Ecstasy in 7th with 4, Neon Rising in 8th with 2, Pain in 9th with 4, V3 in 10th with 3, Ego in 11th, TERRORSIX in 12th with 6, Persecuters in 13th with 1, Cartel in 14th, and Ren in 15th. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. Active, more and more active Mad Monkeys, showing us exactly what they are made of, and I couldn't have been much more impressed. Now, Cartel gotta be careful now. Again, I still don't think they gotta be careful, but I think they gotta be careful in this next game. I don't think they can have they can give a little bit of a breather now, because they can be caught now if they have the same kind of performance in the next game. If they don't get any points in the next game, yeah, I believe, okay, now these guys are touchable. But as it stands right now, I think Cartel have done just enough to still keep themselves in a comfortable lead. They allowed a bad game or two. I don't even think I would say or two. I think they allowed a bad game. Because of yesterday's performances. They had no bad games. So that's why it's so tricky. But today, do they want to have back-to-back bad games? Hopefully it's not the case. But as it stands, we're going to find out in game number 3. So don't touch that dial, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Clatter of Clans. It's the grand finals. It's day 2. We just finished match 2. Get ready for match 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the party. It is the Clash of Clans season 25, the grand final, day number 2, match number 3. Well, technically match number 7, and the action has kicked off once again. We just saw Mad Monkeys take a benevolent chicken dinner, 20 eliminations. Can they repeat the same, or campaign and cartel get up to snuff? But I need to try to. My microphone is disconnecting. So I need just give me a couple of seconds to fix it up. All right, we are back. Ren, looks like they're gonna be doing the stabby stab onto the guys from tactical team here. But I think Ecstasy is also in the vicinity, so it's a little bit of a tricky one. Who has he started this off with though? Thorfinn looks like he wants to close this out finally. To know onto that. But no, it doesn't work. The G-Man will capitalize on that. Crusader now pulls up into the cut. The Godfather is on his left-hand side. He has to be careful. I'm not sure if that's 1 HP or a knocked player. It is a knocked player. And that is a perfectly launched grenade from BTU. And we'll be cooking. And that's going to be the end of the road for Ren. I'm not before they send out the opposition from tactical team. So for the first time in a while, Ecstasy will have control of Yasnaya without any stress. I mean, they were getting stressed out here in Yasnaya yesterday by tactical team, I believe. They lost in a 3v3. But hopefully, it is not going to be the same case today. It is not going to be the same case today. All eyes on the prize here. is having their own share of flesh because of what the play zone has determined for the most part. But, you know, one would consider their options. They would think about what their objectives are, you know, going forward. But every single decision, you know, from here, the play zone has a hand in it. So let's take a look at what the play zone is telling us. On the western side, oh, spoke too soon. Neon Rising on the front foot already, getting their guns hot. I think like Taya from V3 is going to be the victim. Don't see him getting picked up. Persecuters again, getting Persecutors by genz again. It's the same guys, and it looks like it's here again. I mean, you gotta ask yourself, man, like, what is the deal? What is the deal? You know, they get caught out 2 times by the same team. Is it the same rotation strategy? Is it the same pattern? What exactly is it though? Like, what is the deal here? It's really a matter of curiosity, because what exactly causes, you know, teams to fall into that trap of getting caught out on rotation? These are the questions that we gotta ask, man. These are the questions that we gotta ask. But it is what it is. Yeah, so Neon Rising continue to mount the pressure here. Shino is gonna be the next victim. He's caught out as well and will not be surviving any longer. Taya has been spotted. And more chicks. I think they want to commit to this, but it is a smooth area. He might be getting dropped out. He does get dropped out. But it's a 2 versus 2 now. Another jump shot on the right side. Falcon will not succeed. Again, Neon Rising, this is a good push, but they are very much exposed to anybody that decides to climb up to Razok. But fortunately for them, there's nobody in Razok, so this is easy clappings, this is easy chops. They should be able to close this out. Alpha has been spotted. And V3 on the verge of getting sent back into the lobby. He is going for the high ground position. Taya succumbs to his injuries. Easily the best start that he's gotten so far. And now is the time. I mean, I was he will not succeed. Chicks with the final touch will go out the party. And that's going to be the end of the road for him. V3 go out, Neon Rising go up. Looks like OP SWAT are in something here against guys from ZEUS. ZEUS have been relatively very quiet today, though. You know, owing to the fact that I know what they're very capable of. It's very interesting to see how difficult they have been struggling in this grand final. Has tried to trade off blows and trade off shots. I believe with some malicious intent there. Fabian has been trying to go for the pickup, but the QBZ will laser. And Faker gets knocked away now. OP SWAT. They're feeling it now. Scary has decided to crash the party. He gets in over to the other side. It's a 2 versus 2. There's no way they can find him. There's no way they can pick Tinder up here, though. There's no way. There's nothing they can do to him. You know, it would have been a better idea for them to go into the other house and convert this into a 2 versus 1 against Scary. That would have been a better call. You know, but staying in the building where Tinder's on top of it when you can't really do anything. You know, What is the goal here? Now that's more like it. Scary gets exposed. And now it's a little bit of a dicey situation for OP SWAT. A little bit of a trade-off here. Logic tries to buy some time. And they're actually going for the pickup. Oh, that is clean. That is the right call, the best call for them, turning this into a potential 3 versus 1. And Tinder he can only look on. There's nothing he can do. The pickup will come through, and ZEUS will capitalize on this. I mean, Scary didn't have to get knocked away, but it is what happened there. It looks like Ecstasy, who set their sights on genz now. Super 7 does get a drop on. I have no idea. Trade-off gets the first drop, but unfortunately it's not going to be the case. That's 2 bodies caught now. And immediately as well, Zaki will feel the brunt. He's also going to be swept away. 2 versus 1 here. Danny Brown sways over to the other side, switches bullets, and now will decide to close this up. Crusader goes for the finish. And that is the end of the road for that one. But still, the pickup is still ongoing here, and somehow it's turned into a 2 versus 2. Tomas is on the right hand side. He'll be able to trade it off. If Crusader can get the drop on them, though, this would be the game changer. Tomas again. Yeah. Crusader does get the job done, gets the first knock. Danny Brown has to be careful, cannot afford to take any hits here, cannot afford to suffer any consequences now. Crusader up onto the ground floor. Danny Brown has to make it in time to capitalize on this. That could be tricky. Crusader's taking a hit. He might be getting dropped off. Danny Brown has to inside, but no. Danny Brown gets dropped away. Crusader, can he clutch? It's a 1v1. Kelvin against Crusader. The battle of the S12Ks. Into the corner again. He tries to peek through, but unfortunately it's not going to be the case. Dangerous, dangerous, scary hours here. He shuts the door. But Crusader is one with the shotgun, and he will come out on top. Well, that was dangerously close. Danny Brown almost sold the match. But fortunately for him, Crusader was there to lead the crusade. And Ecstasy will breathe a sigh of relief for just a little bit longer. And that was dangerously close. Every inkling and position going forward, it has been quite interesting to see, the various dynamics, but the play zone shrinks a little bit nicer this time. And all eyes will be on the prizes here. Again, 7 teams in the zone. For a grand final, I don't expect teams to be getting tossed out this early. I just don't expect teams to be tossed out this early. 7 teams in phase 2. This is not the stuff I'm used to seeing. I would expect that at least 14 teams are still very much alive, and all full squads in phase 2 of the circle. So I don't even understand. But, this is one of those cartel games. This is easily one of those cartel games. You can see 4 eliminations already, and now they've set their sights on Pain. Can Pain do it? Oh, Akinu. He fell for the bait. He gets knocked away. It is not what he was expecting, but now they have opened the gateway for Pain. Now they will know Pain. Cartel circling back and forth. They need to get their numbers back up. They need to get a handle on the situation. Because Fireboy and A33 are in the corner there, but A33 is going to get run over by Xerox. And it doesn't look like this is going to be going Pain's way at all. Venom is trying to make something out of this situation here. Capitalize on the numbers. the other side. Fireboy has made a little bit of a rotation. He circles back inside. But Venom, I'm not sure he's aware. And now he is aware that ZEUS is on his left-hand side. He has to make something out of it. And A33 will succumb to the bullets. Cartel will get one dropped in. Xerox gets knocked away by Fireboy. Our trade-off is insane. And again, he's going to try for the second one. ZEUS again trying to peek up from the hillside. And on top of the building there, he's been spotted. That grenade was equally very, very good. 1 HP though. He might be getting swept off, but Stress spins the block around. And Xerox will also come to his injuries. He goes out. It's a big trade-off into the other corner again. ZEUS almost getting swept away. And this is one of those engagements that decides the future of the lobby right now. Pain and Cartel going pound for pound, blow for blow. But right now, Pain have another player knocked away. Cartel do not have that. They do not have that in their state. So they will try again. Fireboy, unfortunately, will not see any further. Akinu has also been knocked away. Potential for a 2-point here, and he will be getting flushed out. Again, Cartel getting forced out into the open. They can't seem to find a way through here. Can he get the numbers in? Pain starting to reconcile there. And Venom will be going for the finish. And now they have the numbers. 3 versus 2. And everything could work in their favor. If Stress has to get out of dodge, now would be the time. He reverses. He gets out immediately. Manages. Just in the nick of time. But that has never been the stumbling block. It has never been the stumbling block for them. ZEUS continues to mount pressure from the rooftop of this church. And Amo will send a couple more shots his way still. I'm not sure either of these two teams still want to commit to this because they know that there is a chance that someone is going to get dropped off. Did he see Venom? I'm not sure he saw him though. I think he did see him now. Oh, that was very close. ZEUS almost getting punished there, but fortunately for him, he made it out of dodge. He made it out in time. Looks like Cartel are gonna reconsider. And looks like TERRORSIX and Ego on that southern side looking for who is going to claim the south for themselves. Going to be making a rotation to that eastern side. Again, Cartel and Pain, this still is, they are still trading off. Somebody gotta give it up. Oh, but Stress is the one that's gonna give it up. And ZEUS is going to be the last one for Cartel. Doesn't look like he wants any of the smoke, that's for sure. 7 teams in the cut, 19 players alive, and a very wide play zone. Neon Rising, Ecstasy, I think Ego is there, TERRORSIX, Cartel, ZEUS, Pain. Could be anybody's game here. I don't think there's any team. Yeah, OP SWAT was eliminated, I think, by ZEUS. So I don't think there's any team here. I don't think there's... Oh, okay. It's actually TERRORSIX. TERRORSIX has all of their players up, 4 players. I think they're the only team that has. Okay, Tata has to be careful though. He might be getting swept up in this, but TERRORSIX, they want to commit and they will commit. Here they come. Fabian getting burned at the stake. Logic and Lucifer have been forced all the way back. This is going to be a hard push for TERRORSIX, but I believe they've already committed to it. They want to see it through. They want to deal with ZEUS. ZEUS have been having a very, 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 very tough spell in this grand final, because I know that there's a big possibility of them turning things around. It's a big grenade, a couple of inches shy. On the other side of the drop, again, if the first grenade doesn't connect, if it doesn't hit, you know, you gotta grenade all the angles. You know, you don't have to change. You don't have to do like one angle, because that grenade was in one angle 3 times. 2 times, okay, but 3 times, come on, man. Try all the angles you can. You know, I did see that happen yesterday to some teams that were just, you know, very, very poor in grenade management, and it would look to cost them down the line. Logic tried that one. Lucifer actually gets the drop on 2 of the bodies now. ZEUS may have done everything right, but Ego have pulled up and they've started to steal the eliminations away. That's trouble right now. Might go for the 3rd, but unfortunately today will not be the day. ZEUS will be denied. TERRORSIX will come out on top, and Ego were the ones to make things that much more difficult for both teams with a 3rd party. But that was that was dangerously close. I knew that that push was going to be a very hard one to do, you know, for TERRORSIX. A little bit of a pack. Crusader sent back into the lobby. Ecstasy down to just Danny Brown now. Oh yeah, also Neon Rising has 4 players. So Neon Rising is now officially the only team that has all. That should factor into the way they play the rest of this game. They're locked in, they're locked in. They're looking comfortable here, but again, it's pain. Neon Rising flexing on all fronts. I mean, using the smokes is good, but do you have a plan? I mean, after the smokes, then what? Because you gotta be offensive or defensive or something. Okay, I think that was the plan, to use the smokes to get out of dodge, so it was more defensive. And Pain will occupy that position, obviously. Gonna occupy it for the meantime. But again, playing like this is good, but there's not too many teams. So playing like this does not necessarily give you any advantage or any edge or anything. But don't forget, Cartel still have one player alive. That could be the player that changes everything in this game. So the eyes have to be on the prize. Danny Brown for Ecstasy. Still very much in the mix here. You can hear the bullets ringing out. Monarchs being spotted. Danny Brown. I would be impressed if he turns this around, but I think the play zone is not going to be friendly to him though. Oh, it is friendly to Danny Brown. And now, this could be the right call. This could be the right moment. He doesn't shoot. He maintains trigger discipline. Neon Rising in a very interesting split. They've got 3 playing on the hillside, and Mornax gathering intel on what is left of the terrain. Danny Brown on pause. Hasn't made a move just yet. Will circumvent and keep the line open. And Payne as well, also succumbing to a lot of pressure over to that other side. I think Neon Rising also have them pinned. It looks like they are going to make a move out of that spot. And it looks like Neon Rising now want to deal with the guys from TERRORSIX. Take a look at that. They TERRORSIX in trouble. The first drop is good. Captain, the first victim. And it doesn't look like it's going to yield much here. But that's going to be the end of the road for him. And TERRORSIX will be swept back into the lobby, but this could have been an opportunity for Pain to take the angles, and they have occupied that position. Neon Rising now. This could be a big, dangerous play because they've got another team, but I believe Danny Brown was discovered in all of that. Both spotted as well, dropped away by more chicks. Neon rising again, one by one. The ops fall. Fireboy is spotted. He's cut at the knees and he's dropped off. Venom as well, caught it. Dropped inside the other corner. Venom, can he make something happen? Is all by his lonesome now. Neon Rising have started to gather the momentum. Cartel still have that lone man. They still have that lone wolf. Grenade over to the top side. Will it connect? He's launching just over, but it's not enough. That will be the end of the party. Cartel now cruising through. It's Zarif. He's actually made a way through, but unfortunately, it's gonna be the end of the road for him. All it takes is one grenade. He will not succeed, and Neon Rising will take the chicken dinner, and they will take it perfectly. And that is going to be 12 eliminations and a chicken dinner. Cartel with once again a solid performance, second place with 5 eliminations. Pain in 3rd place with 3. Ecstasy in 4th place with 6. TERRORSIX in 5th place with 6. Tendo and the rest of the guys from Ego in 6th place with 2. ZEUS in 7th with 3. genz in 8th with 6. 305 in 9th. OP SWAT in 10th with 5. V3 in 11th. Persecuters in 12th, and Ren in 13th with 3, Mad Monkeys in 14th with 2, and Tactical Team in 15th with 3. Big performance coming through from Neon Rising. They have been struggling for the most part of the grand final. Between yesterday and today's games, they've not been able to, find that click, but it looks like they found it in this game and they turned it all the way up. Absolutely incredible performance from Neon Rising, but there's still a long ways to go. They still have more to do if they want to get inside of that top 3. But this chicken dinner is the right direction, and now they will start to move. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 games down, 1 more to go. Don't forget, it is the Clatter of Clans Season 25 Grand Final. And let's see who's going to take the final game of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is the Clatter of Clans season 25, the grand final. It is day 2, and the action kicks off once more for the final time tonight. And what a party we have just experienced, we have just witnessed. And it doesn't stop, it does not stop at all. We've seen this trade off. Take a look at that playing path from the west to the east. All the way from El Pozo down to Puerto Paricio. Going to be a very interesting one here. See how the rotations are going to work through, but it looks like ZEUS is the one that's going to get the first drop on Venom there with the car 98. And it looks like trouble here for Pain. But A33 already making his way through. Ooh, that was a beautiful spray from A33, almost making the job easier for the rest of his team here. They could be closing this out relatively very quickly. The shots that they managed to land in could be the job that gets it done. Ooh, and things look a little bit dicey here, Pain. Yeah, to close this one very, very quickly. Looks like they will be losing someone to that exchange. The cartel, ZEUS surrounded in the middle of the ocean, all by his lonesome. Proper logic again, but it doesn't look like this is going to mature into anything though. Doesn't look like they can do much from here though. But it's so interesting that these two teams are always, battling it out. Similar play style, similar positions, similar angles. We've seen it all before, but it's always a surprise when we see, the top two teams on the leaderboard locking in. Again, we've seen this before though. It's always gonna be a surprise. It's just always gonna be a surprise. And I will be one to watch through. But currently, I'm not even sure if Pain is still number 2 on the leaderboard. I don't think they are, actually. I actually don't think they are. I personally don't think they are. But it could be very proactive here because it looks like ZEUS might be on the receiving end. And yes, they are. Again, ZEUS have been struggling really hard in this grand final. Again, it costs a lot every single time, they lose out. Four eliminations now for Gen Z. Gen Z, again, one of the teams that you would not expect, to do to perform the way they have, but they have performed. You know, not necessarily seeing it into the final third, but they have been putting in some points. You know, they should be in that soft little echelon, not too far out from the top 5 and not close to the bottom either. You know, so yeah, sitting in a nice spot. All it takes is one like serious proper game to turn things around for them. But eyes will be on them regardless. We'll be seeing how they will respond going into the hard shift that is the last game. As it stands right now. Wait a minute, where are all the teams? ZEUS back in the lobby. No ecstasy. I mean, 10 teams? So we actually had 11 teams in the lobby. Yeah, we had 11 teams in the lobby. ZEUS getting sent back into the lobby earlier on. We have play zone still sitting quite nicely in the eastern side. Nobody has actually taken it upon themselves to turn things around just yet. So Neon Rising again. This could be a big opportunity for Neon Rising to get a hold of this entire, you know, game. Another chicken dinner. Another chicken dinner could be a big defining moment for Neon Rising after the chicken dinner that they just got. They do have their sights set on OP SWAT. Well, that doesn't look like it's going to yield much, but it is enough to turn things around though. So it looks like Morris is going to try to stay locked in here. More chicks actually gets knocked away. That's quite a surprise, getting knocked away from that distance. But the pressure stay mounted though. I would still keep the M24 in that direction. Pressure continues to mount though. Looks like more pain has been summoned to the front lines. M249, really? Ooh, M24. Now that's about right. That's a dangerous drop. More chicks also gotta be traded off. So more pain has to think twice now. Does he want to commit? He will commit. Tinder now is on the receiving end. Potential for a 2 versus 1. He switches immediately now. He gets to see 7, but he takes the hit straight to the head. And now more. Neon Rising in some major trouble. Tinder, can he hold on? Another grenade will be sent forward, but they're exposed on all the different sides. Kesh goes for the flush. Neon Rising have absolutely crumbled here. And more Nax will be sending more bullets across over to the other side as well. they are going to make the most of this situation, the most of these positions. But V3 have decided to pull up to the party. Looks like they do want a piece of the action as well, but they don't have enough intel to make something out of this. The cost of doing business. Neon Rising losing out yet again. You managed to get one back. More Steves with a drop. He will not succeed. V3 will be there to close the gap. And Neon Rising, after that chicken dinner that they just secured the next game, they get dropped out again. You know, consistency of the performance has been very, very, very lackadaisical coming through from Neon Rising and the other teams that still yet to make something happen out of this. Some teams still keeping the blue zone. 9 teams, 34 players, still very much allowed here. And that is a continuous spray from Alpha for V3. Grenade tossed right over to the other side, but Gabriel will trade one off for the other Alpha, gets knocked away as well. V3, the element of surprise has surprised them as well. And now OP SWAT, they smell blood in the water. They have started to capitalize. Shino, the last one left for V3, is too far out. There's nothing he can do from this distance. And he might give away his own position. He might give away his own location. And that could be a big, big force for the team. But I think his position has already been compromised. And it does look like OP SWAT, they see him, he's here. He tosses the grenade over the top, but it's not enough. Tries to lock that one in with the first set of sprays. Unfortunately, it's not going to connect just yet. Tries again. Third drop. And he might be trying to scope up the second. Shino again to the other side. And he might take a hit. S12K over to the other side. Again, cuts the HP low. And he tries to turn away. Switches the lane back to the opposition. Shino for V3. Tinder pulls up to the scene. His teammates can only look on in hope. But there's only so much they can do. He has a Molotov, but no, the grenade. The grenade from Scary will put him back into the lobby. 6 eliminations now for OP SWAT. And they have started to find their rhythm. 4 players alive. Down to 8 teams now, 29 players in the cut. Again, Pain is deep in the blue though. I don't know why they're so deep in the blue. Why they're so deep. tactical team, another team that is hanging out a little bit too close to the western side. It looks like Gen Z is the team on their sidelines. The grenades are flying over to the right hand side. Zaki as well has been spotted. You have to be very careful with those grenades as well, but the stun just to close the gap. Stone on the other side as well, starting to capitulate under the pressure. And that one will land perfectly. Zaki tries to stay locked in. Something happen here. Tactical team. Now they try to commit, and Kazoo gets the knock immediately with the DBS, and another grenade over to the corner, but unfortunately Zaki is a victim of circumstance. Kazoo's gonna try again. Get the first one into the corner with the DBS, and can he try for the second? Shuts the door. He might shoot the door down, but he tries again. Mendo baby again cracks through, but unfortunately it is not enough. Tactical team will come out on top, and all they will lose is one. We're down to 7 teams now. Phase 2 of the circle coming to an end, and now Pain have decided to get into the zone. Interesting rotation here for Cartel. They're looking quite comfortable with their position, if you ask me. But they have lost Xerox. They did lose him earlier on. I think it was to ZEUS, right? Or was it to TERRORSIX? I can't remember the team they lost it to. It is phase 2 of the circle. So you already know. Yeah, this would be the worst team to link up. This would be the worst team to get a hold of right now. OP SWAT, but it looks like Cartel are equal and up to the task as well. Charges. They will stay locked in as well. But that was a very, very close call for them. Very, very close call. Is that an MK14? Oh, it is an MK14 from Akainu. I mean, this gun gives me like aura. You know, it gives me a lot of aura. I'm not even gonna lie. It gives me aura for sure. And there was comfort in The agility for most of these teams. Again, they've tried to hold this on and hold this up. A big performance for Cartel in the previous game. Can he do more of the same in this one? Phase 3 of the circle, heading into phase 4. Eyes on the prize, eyes on the zone. Can they turn it up? Pain. It looks like their strategy has paid off. They do dominate at least 40% of the zone. Can they see it through though? It's a good idea. It's all about the execution though. If they can execute it properly. I did also see Ego in a solid performance in the Miramar game of yesterday. I think they did turn out. They did perform well enough. We're starting to see that this might be their map of choice, and it does look to yield much better results going forward. But again, it's all a matter of if they can perform consistently just as expected. Right now as it stands, everything is working out in their favor, working out in their good as well, but Cartel are trying to find their way through. Will Ego spot them though on that rotation? These are the answers to the questions we've asked. Sprays. Zone is already hot on the heels here. It's already on the move. And TERRORSIX will set their sights now on OP SWAT. Another one trailing out, but they are playing S3. That could prove devastating for them, but they will level the playing field. And now OP SWAT have been sentenced to play S3. 305 on the other side have decided to crash the party. This is a big sandwich here. OP SWAT caught between a rock and a very hard place. TERRORSIX up the hill and 305 in the valley. And Mo peaked a little bit too long and he's instantaneously punished. And the trail off is unfortunate. Devil can't seem to make it happen. Will lose out as well. They aren't too close to the zone. They have to advance. Scary manages to get his HP back up just by the skin of his teeth there. 305 trying to find their way into the zone. The play zone is not forgiving at this stage. They will try again, but hopefully that will not be the circumstance that will lead them astray. Every decision that they've made up until this point has led them here. We're down to 7 teams now. The placements have started to roll in. Now is the time for the placement points. They are guaranteed. 305, again, they should have committed to this like fully though. You know, they didn't commit. TERRORSIX as well have not committed. Because I believe they should be aware that 305 is in this vicinity. You know, I would think that they... Again, is he behind cover? I gotta know. Oh yes, he is behind cover actually. He is behind cover. Again, the trade-offs continue, but it doesn't seem to yield anything for 305. All that, after all that, you lose out. After all that, they lose out to OP SWAT still. A trade-off again from Blade. He actually does get the drop onto one of the guys from OP SWAT. Ooh, that's a good shout. The Stone from tactical team has made an advance. That could be detrimental to their position. They will try again though. They are playing this exactly as expected, occupying one portion of the zone and keeping the rest of the teams outside the zone. It's all part of the strategy here, and it looks like it is going to be working, but it is going to cost a lot of utilities to keep multitudes of players outside the zone. Eagle is looking for a way through. Cartel still in the mix. They will trade off. Reaper gets caught out as well. He takes damage. He falls, and it's not the best way for things to go either way. Is also going to be dispatched by tactical team, and Thorfinn as well also getting dropped away. Will not be able to make it into the zone. Tactical team losing out one after the other. They're crumbling under the pressure, but OP SWAT somehow they've mustered 10 eliminations out of all of them. Without stress will go out as well in 6. They trade off again. Tinder trying to circle back, but TERRORSIX have him locked in. Another team very solid in Miramar, starting to show their prowess. OP SWAT in engaging positions, ping around the pressure as well. Scary, I believe, was the last one left for OP SWAT, and he will be sent back into the lobby. He will not advance any further, but here comes Pain now in a 4 versus 3. TERRORSIX Wakanda, they were the last team left before the chicken dinner Miramar game, and it looks like they might be doing it again, but now Pain is the team with the play zone. They will be the ones forced out. They will be the ones trading out into the open. Another open spot, another open position. They will be trying to lock it in. Captain trying to circle back, find a position from that western side, but it's looking steeper and steeper. The rest of his teammates can't seem to budge. They can't seem to find a way through. As AW3 will circle back again, but take a look at that. Pain have split themselves into a very nice 2 partition. And Venom has decided to crash into the party. King Tata is exposed. He gets the drop as well. And LB will return fire, but it's not enough. Pain They can smell the chicken dinner. They have played this to perfection. They've done everything right. And they have kept everything at bay. Amo's in the corner. And Captain waited for the DBS to land on his head. LB will try to lunge through, but Payne will take that chicken dinner once again. And they will go out with 9 eliminations with that chicken dinner. TERRORSIX in second place with 2. OP SWAT in third place with 12. And Ego in fourth place with 2. Tactical team in fifth place with 6. Cartel in sixth place with 1. 305 in seventh place. Genz in eighth place with 5. And V3 in ninth place with 2. Neon Rising in 10th place. ZEUS in 11th place. Well, 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 well. Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely incredible performance coming through from Payne in that final third. I was wondering why were they so tanked up in the blue zone, but you know the strategy showed itself, and we saw exactly what the strategy was. It played to perfection, and that is exactly what they needed to do. But absolutely incredible performance. Now, Cartel, they got a chicken dinner, one chicken dinner today. It was nowhere near their performance from yesterday, but it's not over just yet. You know, there's so many ways this could transpire into something else. But ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of tonight's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It is the Clatter of Clans season 25. Do not touch that dial. We'll see you same time tomorrow, and we'll see who we are going to crown champions of season 25.